Bombers are home.
Bombers are home, ladies and gentlemen. Essendon has defeated Port Adelaide 72-60, 12 points. We have Bede, Scoot, Joshy, Flanners, Mack, Will and myself here at Clubby TV. And let's get into it, boys. What are we thinking, ladies and gentlemen? Immediate reactions, just throw some stuff at us. What's the headline in tomorrow's paper?
Bombers are back.
Bombers are back.
Yep. It's enormous. What's that?
Lids off for the Bombers?
Yeah, for just about. That's as good a win as they've had for a long time.
My newspaper headline is what Sal has put in the chat. Tipping this year is fucked as Bombers beat Port.
Yeah, it's massive. Hey, before we get into it as well, massive thank you to our partners that make this all possible. On Thursday night of every game this year of the AFL, we'll be doing Clubby TV live streaming with all the boys on the couch. And we've done 3 weeks in a row now, absolutely loving it. Thanks to our friends at BWS and our friends at KO, and obviously Hotel Collingwood as well for supplying us with the food, so we can't thank you guys enough.
Delish.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast feed, and this is our live reactions and thoughts post the footy. So
Draper snaps Essendon's losing streak.
Yeah!
He's good. He's good.
Very good. Willie, you got one for us?
Just tipping is fucked this year.
That headline. One. Yeah, mine was Sard bursts through the middle.
Yes.
And Bombers are back.
Hey, Robbo.
I'm not good at calling sick to work tomorrow.
Oh, I like that. I'm not good at this game. I hate when people go pick the headline. I know I did it, but I'm like,
I've never done it. My one last week was far and really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah. What did we learn? Let's go from Bombers first because they won. What did we learn about the Bombers tonight?
Drapes is a great key forward. The snap is here to stay.
Yeah, the snap works.
As he's getting interviewed by the great Eddie Betts, I think the snap has got to stay. We saw he had a shot from 45, or it might have just been at the top of the square. He does have the drop punt in his arsenal, but the snap is here to stay, 100% accuracy.
Yep.
Dylan Shield and Jade Gresham are still very, very good players. 20 for Gresham, 7 tackles. Shield 25 and had a lot of score involvements as well. So they were pretty down in the first couple of weeks, but they're very impressive tonight.
Cops a lot of flack, Sheely, and sometimes his ball usage is I suppose Essendon fans get frustrated at. But same age, came through at the same time. He was the best junior I've ever seen. So he's capable of anything.
Yeah. He's playing a new role this year, right? He's running off the half back, so he's getting a bit more of the touches, still getting their set of bounce attendance, so getting a bit more of the ball, having a bit more of an impact for the Bombers.
Yeah, great call. Oh, he's getting interviewed now here as well by Brad Johnson, the smiling assassin.
Yeah, jeez, he's such a chiselled man.
He is. Anything else we learned from the Bombers tonight? I think you can see a bit of a future there now as well. I know I'm hard on the Bombers, but with Caddy up forward, even with Drapes up forward, as you said as well, you can really build a team around just having one good key forward. And we were speaking about it before. There's not many in the game really. They've got Mackay, Curnow, Darcy, Hogan, who's he's going to be 33 next year. So it's they're getting on.
Yeah, especially the chemistry that Kako has quickly built with.
Kako was elite tonight. He didn't kick any goals. He was just smart.
He just makes it so dangerous, doesn't it? So dangerous.
So
it was good to see tonight as well. Obviously, Merritt had another great game, but when the rest of the midfield and the back line helps him out, it just shows what they can put on the scoreboard. And yes, the scoring shots was probably not the way they wanted to pan out. I think they kicked 18, 19 behinds, but far out. Xavier Dersma, John Menzies in the first quarter, he was everywhere. Gresham, Durham, they all played their part as well, and it was as clinical as they've ever played.
Got to talk about Merritt as well, just quickly. I've always thought he's a good player, but he's taken his game to the next level this year. Read out those. What's he had there? 34.
Yep.
15 kicks, 19 handballs, 5 marks, 2 tackles. He kicked 2 points too, so he was everywhere. If you support Essendon, you couldn't be upset with your captain. He is doing absolutely everything. Plays the captain's game, so very good.
Jordan Ridley, another one, back in the
the
side
Riddler.
this week. They really missed him last week against Adelaide. Riley Thilthorpe and Fogarty got a hold of him, but Ridley back into the side this week. 22 disposals, centre half back. It's just that centrepiece of their defence and structures them up so well.
Al Hooley debut as well was electric.
Jeez, he
That was
just
sick.
added a
He's
bit
going
of
to be a
spark.
cult hero now straight away
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
Massive
that was-
impact in the last quarter.
When
Yeah.
your big first passage of play leads to a Mason Redmond goal and half of the team
Yeah.
comes to celebrate with you instead of Mason Redmond,
Yeah.
you know you're doing the right thing.
We've got
So
a
did
kick
Redmond
for-
have kicked 2?
I think he
kicked two.
he might have kicked 2.
He had to, because he kicked that big one as well. No, he kicked 1, so it mustn't have been Redmond who kicked that one. Doesn't matter. But it's fine.
no, it was Nick Martin.
It was Nick Martin.
Nick Martin,
Yeah.
silly me.
Before we move on to Port, I was just going to say about probably looking down the other end, quiet game from McGrath. I don't know if he was injured or not, but only with 9 disposals. As we said, Kako, even with 10, he's still electric at first year, and Mackay finished with 10 as well, but he wasn't too bad.
Missing some key players in Finlayson and obviously Butters as well. Ivan Soldo got subbed out tactically. Yeah, I feel like they're trying to fill some gaps with some other players, but they just got outbodied.
Just Port now, we move on to Port.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? What else? Everyone from Port. They're missing Butters, aren't they? The barometer.
Yeah.
He just
Good
gets them
signs.
going.
Good signs from Port.
Wines and Burgoyne had great games. Georgiades was big in the first half. Horn Francis had his moments, but a lot of them were down for compared to normal output. I thought they were, Willie Rioli normally hits a scoreboard. He kicked 0-1 tonight.
Yeah.
They missed a few key shots, didn't they, throughout the night?
What about Christian Moraes? Is it Moraes?
Yeah.
He had 27. It's his
What?
second game or debut?
Second game.
Second
football.
game.
Respectfully,
Fuck.
who is that? I've never heard that.
He was a
name
draft pick this year.
before. That's crazy.
He came on as the sub last week against Richmond. And
Yeah.
He's got touches all around the ground, 27 disposals at 85% efficiency. He's really settling in and he's filling up the gaps of.
That's what I
the
mean. They're
players they're
young,
missing.
sort of now.
He's
Yeah.
Port Adelaide's top player for disposal efficiency this year, Moraes.
It's nuts. Oh, can we find out what pick he was in the draft?
Look at that.
38. So is it it's a bit of a steal. on him.
Massive steal.
Very much so. If you're playing him round 3 and he's doing numbers like that, that's massive.
Yeah, I thought Burn Jones was good tonight. Like he's getting sort of back. He only had the 15, but he kicked the 2.
He impacted a lot. He was crashing through packs and advancing the ball, not only by his feet, but also with his legs.
Yep.
I feel like Port were kind of set up to fail, obviously coming off that big win against Richmond at Adelaide Oval. Coming into Marvel, people kind of penciled them in, obviously Essendon yet to really fire a shot in 2025. Port probably were victims of overinflated odds, but yeah, if you looked at it, like, people weren't exactly riding off Essendon. I think we might have jumped a little bit too early on saying that Port were going to roll them just based on, what was it, Flatus, the last 8 matches that Port had won rolling into this?
They were 12-1 at Marvel, and last 8 against the Bombers.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
8 of the last 9, I think it was, against the Bombers.
Crazy.
Also just shows with the disposals as well, Essendon had 11 players reach 20 plus disposals tonight. Port Adelaide only had the 6, so
11 over 20 is crazy.
Yeah.
I thought Rosie was very quiet today.
Yep.
Did anyone
Yeah.
tag him?
We
couldn't work it out.
asked this so many
he tag
times.
himself?
Was he, just getting tagged by himself?
We
Or
saw him getting an almighty rev up by Ken at 3/4 time, so we'd love to hear what was in that phone call immediately on that conversation.
What did he finish
immediately
on?
the phone up to the box as well. So
First 2 rounds, he averaged 37 disposals. Tonight, he just had the 22, which is still, solid numbers, but by his lofty standards, they needed more from him to get over the line here.
Willie, before I ask this next question, I want you to jump into the comment sections and the Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Just to get some of our fan favourites up,
Yeah.
which we love.
Should we head into the Port
I reckon
Adelaide
go
one?
Port and then Mack, you go Essendon.
Yep.
They'll be happy tonight. But we want to know what the fans are saying. Flanners, I'll ask you this. What does Port do with Ken?
Yeah, we discussed it during the night. I think if there's another couple of performances like this where they fail to get over the line against teams that they would have thought pre-game that they should beat, then maybe they do move on the Josh Carr succession plan sooner rather than later. But if they can, if they can bounce back and have a solid revival in the next 4 or 5 weeks and be in the mix for the 8, then maybe you push that out a little bit longer. But they're walking a tightrope with that every week. The advertiser's going to be all over the succession plan. And when are they going to pull the trigger on it?
Do you reckon they will make the change?
Nah.
It's just something that we're going to talk about in the media.
The media will talk about it, and Adelaide media can be pretty fickle. Yeah.
But I'm telling you now, what's going to happen, and the club, I hope they're not silly, but they already know he's coaching next year. Why would you sack a coach and then put the pressure on the new coach?
Yeah,
Just let Ken wear the brunt of a new year. Josh Carr's already obviously going to have such an influence anyway. He's already probably coaching 50-50 anyway. So
let him
just do it.
There's no point just throwing him in if he's going to go in.
Yeah. You boys got any comments?
Yeah.
Gee whiz,
Essendon are all pretty happy.
There's a lot of paragraphs on
Sard
Twitter.
single-handedly changed the pace, energy and momentum of the game when he came on. That's how you take the game on. If Mackay gets another look in after the bye, I'll spew. Throw the potato in the Magoos this week and get him into form.
Oof.
It's pretty stiff when you've won a game.
You're right.
Pressure was elite tonight. A lot of pressure. Drapes can kick goals however he wants as long as they go through the sticks. Do we give Brad Scott another year? Thank you, Bombers. I live in...
They won.
Another extension.
Another extension.
Thank you, Bombers. I live in Adelaide.
Cool.
Thanks.
Rebuild lasted a week.
Come on, settle down.
Jeez.
What do we got from Port?
Jeez, from Port. Someone goes, for it to be a succession plan, shouldn't we have some success?
Oh.
That's what happens when you put Ken back at the helm, smashed around the clearances. Carr knows it starts in the centre. Ken's strategy is a kick in hope. Should be full-time on Ken Hinkley's career. That was ridiculous. Showed up for half a game. Cheers, Koshy. Another Ken masterclass. Hinkley out. If he cared about the club as much as he claims to, he would have left long ago. Week. The Suns are going to love our top 10 pick. Inspired performance by Port tonight. When we lose Butters and Bergman, we'll need to fully rebuild this terrible list. It's going to be a long 4 to 5 years, Power fans.
Hey, settle down, Power fans.
Mate,
Just don't be silly.
They're so
Fickle.
Yeah, watch him just be on him when
But do they genuinely think Ken's going, hey, let's do this game plan, and Carr's like, no, I want to do mate, they're on the same fucking page. If anything happens, the game will be they won't be changed this year.
No. They're being very harsh. Essendon have played an absolute blinder there. They've brought the best pressure game that they've had for a very long time. I mean, Essendon proved that when they bring pressure for 4 quarters, they're actually a very good football team.
Yeah.
And Port Adelaide, unfortunately, they're on the rough end of the stick. They'd led for 3.5 quarters, and the Bombers wheeled themselves over the line. But Port weren't bad, I didn't think.
Yes, no answer to this one. Actually, it's not yes, no answer. It's the team answer that you think. Essendon or Port to make the 8? Out of the two, who do you think's got a better chance?
Still
Great
Port.
question.
Port still, but I'd love to see Essendon crack in.
Essendon can sustain that 4-quarter energy. I'm going with Essendon. If they can do that every week for the rest of the year, they were awesome to me.
After watching that, I don't think Essendon are too far away.
No.
Port Adelaide
fucking good.
Very
Do you reckon that was a
capable.
4-quarter performance though?
Yeah.
It was a slog at the start.
But it's momentum though. Once you...
No, they were good.
Mike.
Yeah.
Port were trying to control the game, play keepings off, and they stayed composed through the Essendon pressure. But by the end of it, they weren't able to.
They were good,
Keep
but
getting through it.
I could name 8 teams better. Not off the top of my head, but I think I could.
Yeah, but just out of those two. Hey, all right, before we finish, and make sure, guys, a big thank you to BWS and to KO and to Hotel Collingwood. Let's lock in our 3-2-1s for the game. Flanagan, I'm going to go with you because you're the most analytical. You can give us a 3.
My 3 vote. I think it's hard to go past Zach Merritt with his 34 disposals, led from the front again. When the game was on the line in the second half, he was able to help claw his team into the lead, and then when they got the lead, he was very composed in the dying stages of the game as well. So I'll give him the 3.
Yep.
2.
Could you make an argument for Shield too, or not?
He was outstanding, wasn't he?
He did make some turnovers, but he was very good in other parts as well.
Most metres gained on the ground, Dylan Shield.
Was he?
Yeah. 709 metres gained, 25 disposals. His best game for a while. Yeah, he'd be in the vote somewhere, whether he's the 2 or the 1, I think.
You'd nearly have to.
Sam Durham.
Sard would have to be up there if you had to play full
Sar's
game.
brothers, probably.
Yeah, Sard's brothers tonight.
Durham had 28.
Yeah,
5
let's go
clearances. Yeah,
Yeah.
All
All right.
Score involvements to go with that, and 14 contested possessions.
huge.
Okay, so 3 Merritt, 2 Shield, 1 Durham.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Good stuff. Anything
Sounds
else,
good.
boys?
So we put in, as you guys were talking about Ken and his future, put up a poll of the sports.
Oh, yes.
The votes are in, and 78% think Ken should go before this.
Oh, grow
Jeez.
up. Grow up, guys.
78% of idiots in our chat.
Come
right
on.
now.
Just
We love you
mate,
guys, but
if
come
you
on.
like Port, you'd rather him see the year out and give Josh Carr another year to get shit going.
What if
Ain't
you
nothing
were
will
Ken?
change.
If you were Ken, what would you rather do?
Mate, you know what the situation is with Ken at the moment? Ken, we watch Harry Potter here.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You spend the first 10 years of your life absolutely hating Snape. Then you realise all he was ever doing was helping you. That's the same thing with Ken, man.
Snape
Like,
Why
Hinkley.
would Ken want to do this?
He doesn't want to, but he's doing it to help Port Adelaide. Like, he knows he's done now. But why would he throw Josh Carr under the bus? Like, he's just extending his
I
period.
just compared Ken Hinkley to Snape. That's
I would
crazy.
compare him to.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No, I get it.
absolutely.
I get it.
Why
I
is
get
under
it.
the bus?
I think he looks like
Under the
Palpatine.
bus part of that.
But the fact is, like,
we're gonna get
you look at what happened with Uze taking over Richmond, and people are like, oh, that's his first year coaching. Not really. His first year is this year. Like, he's actually getting a full run at a full pre-season at it. Like, Josh Carr's going to come in
But he
as...
would have his first year now and get it over with.
No.
But you don't want that, because he'll be judged then from now.
I don't think he would. I think
He would,
get a lot
because-
of
Uze was.
leeway.
Everyone said
Mate,
Mate,
Uze
we're
sucked.
at round 2, man. We're at round 2.
Yeah, he'd get a lot of leeway. Because
3.
He,
Things changed.
It's a very fickle supporter group. They've made prelim finals every
Yeah,
year
exactly.
on year. He's built them up from a club that when Matty Primus was there, they had tarps on the
Exactly.
on the
And the boys
Amy
love him,
Stadium.
man. The boys, they actually love him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think it would help them getting rid of Ken right now. I just don't think that's the answer.
no, my point is why Ken would want to.
Why would you want to
Why
stay?
would they do for Ken? Ask him what do you want to do. Like,
He wouldn't
do you
give
wanna
up.
stay-
He wouldn't give up.
stay out for the rest of the year.
For sure.
He enjoys coaching that group.
See, he probably should have left at the end of last year. But if he's going to sign, they got to ride him for the rest of the year. That's
You
what
got
I
to.
reckon.
It's just like as I said, like a succession plan. Why would you? If you've already committed to a succession plan, it looks weak that you've just the whole club have sacked it 3 rounds in. It looks pathetic.
Agreed.
They're trying to do something that's actually going to last a test of time.
All I'm saying is, Ken gets them to finals in the last couple of years. Where were they before that?
No, they were putting tarps on seats.
They had arguably better squads, like a couple of years before. Like
People are making parody videos of them losing to the bye.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
To be honest, watch this space. If Ken gets sacked, he'll coach another team next year.
I reckon he'll coach
Holy
Tassie.
moly.
Huge call.
Ken could
Huge
go
call.
down and coach Tassie.
You know who coaches Tassie, I reckon?
Bevo.
Horse.
Kingsley.
Kingsley.
Ooh.
I reckon he's the best. I reckon after I've got him on the podcast going on Monday, I reckon he's the best coach,
Yeah,
young coach in the game.
Well, that's for another discussion.
that's a great
That's
shout.
for another chat.
Hey, let's leave that. Just ticket everyone's.
Yeah, tickles everyone's esophaguses.
Yeah.
See you all next
Everyone's
Thursday.
ears.
Hey, again, massive thank you to BWS, massive thank you to KO, massive thank you to Hotel Collingwood, and we'll see you next Thursday night for the massive blockbuster Carlton Collingwood live
Yeah.
exclusive.
We hate them Collingwood dogs.
If Carlton win, we'll get Mack walking down Logon Street high-fiving people. So
Love you guys. Thanks so much.
thanks, guys.
See you later, Hooroo.
See ya.